Try, don't you ever fall. Keep your head up high and standing tall.
The Nigeria Prize for Science, a professor of mechanical engineering and technology, Hippolyte Amadi, has emerged winner of the 2023 Nigeria $100,000 prize for science. Please, let's welcome Professor Hippolyte Amadi, who joins us from Hornchurch in Essex in the UK. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me, Channel TV.
Well, too many questions to ask you this morning. I know we're not going to have enough time, but just to perhaps titillate, why is a mechanical engineer taking so much interest in medical science? What drove you into mechanical engineering, and now is it driving you into medical science?
I think that medical science actually drove me into mechanical engineering, if you like, because very early in life, I desired to be a medical engineer, but at the time, there was no medical engineering courses in the Nigerian universities, and moreover, medical engineering was still emerging, so we could only find it in universities in very developed worlds like America and the United Kingdom. So what we have closest to it, according to the people that advised me at the time, was for me to maybe take mechanical engineering course, and in the process of time, I could from there find a pathway into actualizing that my dream of being a medical engineer, and that is applying engineering in medicine to create medical solutions. So I still remember back way back when I was still completing my I had completed my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and I was to write a statement of purpose. This was many years ago. And I said that I wanted to be a major contributor to medical science in the world by the time I would be 50 years of age.
Just to be clear, Prof, what does a medical engineer do?
Medical engineering is, or if I should say engineering in medicine, is very, very broad area of an aspect of medicine, very broad, because a medical engineer is somebody who can be somebody who applies engineering techniques to solve medical problems. So, so a medical engineer, or within the broader family of engineering in medicine, you would see the professionals who would dive into medical devices to create medical devices, design medical devices to solve medical problems. You can also see professionals who are looking into the body to solve problems of the body using engineering methods, to solve the problem with the linkage mechanics, which is related to orthopedics. You can also see engineers who are also studying cells and how cells divide the mechanical and the electrical impulses that go on in the body. If you like, the body is actually a biological machine. So everything that you study in conventional engineering, like civil engineering, water engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, all these things are all represented in the body. The body mechanism is a biological machine that makes use of all those things that we study in mainstream engineering to function as a machine. So the medical engineer is found every part of the body. And so it's massive collaboration of engineering and medicine that are driven the world medicine to where we are today, making it very effective.
Okay, Prof. Where did you study mechanical engineering?
I entered the university to study mechanical engineering in the year 1983. And I graduated 1988 from the then Anambra State University of Technology, which essentially is what is referred to as ISUT today, that is Enugu State University of Science and Technology. So graduated in 1983 and then moved on to do my master's in production engineering management in the same university, graduated in 91. And then, but I came one-on-one with the aspect of medical problem I'm solving today in 1996. And ever since, I actually moved into problem solving in medicine even before I graduated, because my final year project was on a medical laboratory device.
Okay. What made you apply for this prize in this science prize, this NLG prize for science?
It was essential that I apply for this because I wanted Nigerians to know what I've been up to in the last 27 years. So this is a project that started in 1996. And ever since, although when I entered into, when I came one-on-one with the Nigerian problem of high neonatal mortality rate, I never knew it existed. So I was approached by one aspect of the problem, which is keeping babies warm. And by the time I was tackling that, I now discovered that there were so many other aspects of intervention that was contributing to high death rate. And I was tackling them one after another, if you like, quietly over the last 27 years. But the good news was that by 2022, I had completed all the various sciences and the development of antidotes and creation of devices that I believe that will solve that problem completely. So I felt it was time to let Nigerians know what I've been up to. And I entered for the competition using one of those techniques or one of those technologies, which is respiratory support devices, and it won the award.
Professor, let's talk about what won you this prize. It has to do with babies and oxygen and keeping babies alive. Now, explain to the layman exactly what this invention is that actually won you the prize.
When babies are born, especially those of them that are born very tiny, and when I mean very tiny, these babies many of them were less than 1,000 grams. That is 1 kg. They are very small. Their organs are not well developed. They cannot
Prematurely?
Prematurely, yes.
Okay.
Prematurely or with low birth weight.
Okay.
The organs are not well developed. They cannot do a lot of things themselves to exist, especially breathing. They can't breathe on their own. So if you leave them like that, they will die in quick time. So helping babies to breathe is become an essential part of looking after babies in the first 28 days of their life, particularly in the first 7 days, because 4 out of 5 Nigerian neonates, that is newborn babies, that would die, they will die in the first 7 days of life. That is a massive 80%. So the science of keeping babies alive in the first 7 days of life becomes very, very essential. And that is when most of them are unable to breathe and they will die. So I had to develop a device, a ventilator, that can help them to breathe. Then that is one problem solved. Another problem is making sure that the little amount of oxygen you can generate is well handled to distribute so that it could go around to as many little babies as possible. So these two are the two essential devices that are created. The third one happened to be a portable version of the ventilator that would enable you to mix the oxygen and the atmospheric in an appropriate proportion that would enable the oxygen to be delivered safely to the baby so that the baby doesn't get intoxicated and then enter into another massive problem that will make the baby grow up to become a moribund child.
You know, one of those devices that you just talked about is able to deliver access to deliver oxygen to neonates, as you have said. providing them access to ventilators and oxygen at a significantly reduced cost of 750,000 naira as opposed to 6.5 million naira for the existing device with comparable and better efficiency. Is that correct?
Yes, but let me expatiate on that a little bit. What really happened is that you are actually referring to the ventilator. Okay, now the Polite Heart ventilator or the Polite Heart CPAP machine, before it was created, what was existing in Nigeria in terms of commercial brand ventilator, they were all imported, and the most popular one was a Fisher and Pickle model, which at the time was being sold at 6.5 million naira. That was way back in 2017. So it was unaffordable. So I decided to design a version of the machine that the Nigerian naira could buy. And at the end of that project, and when the machine was delivered and was being distributed to the first set of hospitals that used it, it was at a cost of 750,000 naira. So yes, the effort crashed and created an upset in the market for that ventilator. So it massively reduced the price, made it affordable, so that it stopped being a luxury equipment, because it's supposed to be a life support device and supposed to be available to the poor Nigerian units that needed it. So you're correct.
How does that make you feel? Particularly now that you won the Nigeria Prize for Science for this year as a result of your creations.
May I just say here that a certain notable Nigerian medical statistician who retired as the Statistician General of Imo State in sometime in 2018, published an article where he said that he had followed my work for so many years and was able to crunch his numbers. I'm using his word. He crunched his statistical numbers in 2018, and he said that my work in Nigeria had impacted over 12 million Nigerian babies. So you can imagine how I feel. I said that this is a work that's been going on quietly for years, 27 years. But the NLNG beat the gong so that it evaporated for most Nigerians to hear. So it makes me feel proud. This is what I've been doing. It's been a dream, a childhood dream, if you like, becoming alive while I'm still alive, telling the story myself. So I feel great. And then I feel more greater for those Nigerian newborn babies that have been given hope to live. They were all born to live, not to die.
Tell us, how did you get this to the market? Is it now readily available?
I have been in my journey all through this time with the Apex Nigerian hospitals. That's the tertiary hospitals, federal teaching hospitals across the entire country, and federal medical centers. So the name Hippolyte is a household name among all the Apex hospitals in Nigeria. It's only the ordinary Nigerian public that are getting to know the name now, but I've always been there. So it's not a matter of marketing. I produce it for the people who use it, and they know me. So the market, if you like, if you want to call it market, is really there. Many of them were waiting for me to produce, and they put it to work straight away.
I like the way you put it when you said the Nigeria Prize or NLNG hit the gong. It's now making a lot of noise about it. And of course, they have done this, for quite a number of years. Because one of the things that we've seen is that when it comes to innovation in our nation, it seems, especially for science, nobody really supports scientists in our part of the world. All of the news about trying to create an alternative for creating vaccines locally in Nigeria, research and all of those things seem to be quite an issue in that regard. So a good number of people will say that what Nigeria LNG is doing is trying to find solutions to our problems through this prize. How do you think this kind of initiative can be galvanized? How do you think it can be replicated or encouraged in other, perhaps by other, private sector practitioners?
I will answer your question in two ways, because how you started your question actually made me to think about information I need to give to Nigerians. But in terms of what LNNG have done, is massive. Like I said, that they hit the gong. The tiny babies cannot talk. Their cries are not too loud, but they are distressed. They are in anguish. The same thing as one man, my voice is not loud enough. I've been talking 27 years, but you didn't hear me. LNNG hit the gong and you're hearing me. And I can encourage every other organization in Nigeria, come on, get your gong. Find one thing that is, impacting but unknown. Hit the gong for it. And I tell you, by the time you know it, a lot of Nigerians will be motivated to bring out or to unleash the excellence that is packed up in them, especially the Nigerian youths. They are packed of innate energy, innate potential, innate sciences, innate ideas. Get them to work. They can put all this energy that they are spending in social media into thinking. And I bet you, all the solution Nigeria requires, they are all packed in those young people. So yes, that's what those companies would do. It's not just going on creating programs that does not earn Nigeria anything. Put it to work, challenge the youth, challenge their brains. The African mind is a very excellent and very intelligent mind. Challenge the African mind, and the African mind will create the solutions that Africa require for their own problem. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's interesting when you say that the Nigeria LNG hit the gong. The gong, one of the characteristics of the gong is that it reverberates. Right now, it is reverberating, courtesy of the same Nigeria LNG. But then the work is still part of, your own work as well. My colleague was asking you about the commercial production of this thing. So 5 years from now, what do you hope for in terms of neonate care in Nigeria and in terms of utilization of this particular innovation of yours?
My innovation and the other the innovation that is being celebrated, in addition to the rest of the 7 intervention areas that have created solutions, they will collectively solve the Nigerian problem. And that big Nigerian problem is a very big shame on the global stage. And that is that Nigeria buries more babies every day than any other nation of the world. And Nigerians have been thinking that the solution will come from outside Nigeria. And I can tell Nigerians here, both doctors, nurses, technicians, mothers, fathers, the government, that please remove your mind from there, because neither Geneva, nor Washington, nor London will give you that solution. No, they don't have it. The solution is with Africans who understand their problem, their environment, their weather, their culture. They will integrate these things into scientific languages to create devices that will solve the African problem. I have demonstrated it. And in 5 years from now, what I want to see is Nigerians utilizing the sciences I put down to tackle the problem that they have not been able to tackle since I was born. And in 5 years' time, Nigeria will no longer be the leading country in burying babies. Nigeria will not even be among the group of leading nations in burying babies. The death rate of babies, my vision is, let us halve it. I don't want to take too much, but we can do more than bringing that number from 846 a day below 400 a day.
Oh, wow.
And I would have been very happy. Because we can do it, what I have created.
Certainly, as I said, the gong has been beaten. It is reverberating now, and this program is being watched all over the world, and it will hopefully be available on YouTube as well. Professor Hippolyte Amadi, winner, Nigeria LNG 2023 Nigeria Prize for Science. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
And congratulations, Professor.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate Channel TV.
We're back right after now to take on another initiative of like that. Just stay with us.